We finally have some new information on the 20th anniversary re-release of Cars, with a new poster, release date, and yes, popcorn buckets. Hello everybody, and welcome back to My Thoughts, the series where I give my thoughts on the latest Cars news, and man, 2026 has been a great time to be a Cars fan. It's been really amazing to see Disney, Pixar, and other companies go all out to celebrate 20 years of this movie and this world that we all love so much. I'm still working on a big My Thoughts episode breaking down all of the Piston Peak Cars Land news that we got from D23, but in the meantime, I wanted to put this video together real quick because, the theatrical re-release is a bit more time sensitive. I want to make sure that people watching know when it's coming back to theaters, if, you plan on seeing it. Originally leaked months ago by Sheriff's voice actor Michael Wallace, the Tom Holland of Cars leaks, it was officially announced by Disney and Pixar that Cars would be returning to theaters in September, back on June 9th, the day that Cars turned 20. And just this week, they finally announced an official release date, September 4th. Back in my original video discussing this a few months back, I said that while it is kind of weird to not have Cars back out in theaters on June 9th, the day it originally came out, September is a pretty good time, especially early September. Big summer movies are kind of winding down, and it's a good few months before Disney brings in their sort of end-of-the-year heavy hitters. Disney always releases their new animated feature Thanksgiving weekend, so the end of November, and then they typically have their really big heavy hitter movie in December, whether that's Star Wars or Avatar. This year, of course, that slot is reserved for Avengers Doomsday. Obviously, a theatrical re-release is never going to make as much money as a film's initial run, and in the modern day, when movies are so easily accessible, theatrical re-releases are a pretty niche thing. So I always appreciate that Disney still does them to celebrate film anniversaries. They do that a lot with Star Wars movies, and we also saw them do it with Toy Story last year for its 30th anniversary. While making a movie and putting it out there can typically be a pretty big financial gamble, it seems that re-releasing one is a pretty low-risk move. They know it's not going to make them an absolute ton of money, but it's probably much cheaper to re-release a film to theaters than it is to make an entirely new one, obviously. In addition to all that, September being a good month for film re-releases, this being the same month they re-released Toy Story last year, it's also going to be released the day before Lightning McQueen Day, which is Saturday, September 5th. So you even get a little Cars reference in there too. While a lot of theatrical re-releases, like the Avengers Endgame one that's releasing just a few weeks after this, include new content, the Cars Anniversary re-release does not. The runtime is the exact same as the regular film. Hopefully they include a special message from the cast or crew or something, but you're not going to see reanimated deleted scenes or anything like that. Even the description for it here on Fandango seems to be the exact same description that it would have had back in 2006, just with an added sentence at the bottom letting you know that it's the 20th anniversary. Even if there's nothing new added in, I just love bringing back Cars to theaters for its 20th anniversary, and I especially love that they've designed a brand new poster for it. Pixar shared this new poster on their social media, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love the colors here. I love how stylized it is. I love that they went out of their way to have an artist draw a new poster instead of just either reusing a pre-existing one or, photoshopping typical Cars renders onto a background and calling it a day. No, we have brand new art here. I love that the Radiator Springs Willys Butte background is framed by the Cars 20 years logo. We got McQueen in the middle, Mater on one side, Doc on the other, and at the bottom, some of the other Radiator Springs cars with Ramon, Sarge, Sally in front, Red, Luigi, Guido, and Flo. I'm pretty disappointed that they're not all there. Fillmore and Lizzie are missing, which is definitely a shame, but I wonder if that's a rights thing because those are both real types of cars and they'd probably have to pay royalties or something to include them on the poster. Then again, Ramon is a real type of car too, as is Luigi, but yeah, I'm going to assume it's a rights thing. It would be weird to not include them otherwise. Regardless, the artwork here is absolutely beautiful, but easily my favorite thing about it is that it matches the Toy Story re-release poster that they made for its anniversary release last year. These two are done in pretty much the same art style with the coloring and the stylization and everything, and I just love that these match. It's so cool to have this consistent art style for these Pixar re-release posters, and I really hope that we see them continue to do this if they continue to re-release films. I'm trying to think of what other Pixar films you could do anniversary re-releases for, but, well, a Pixar film has come out basically every year, so they always have one they could celebrate the anniversary for. I'd love to see one for Ratatouille for its 20th anniversary next year, or Monsters, Inc., or The Incredibles the next time it hits a milestone anniversary. These posters feel so classic, but also so modern, and I would love to see just a whole lineup of different ones whenever they do a Pixar anniversary re-release. But in addition to this new poster, they've actually announced some cars, popcorn buckets, and drink containers. I'm genuinely pretty surprised that this is happening, but it's 2026, and we've really hit, the popcorn bucket apocalypse, right? Over the course of the last few years, popcorn buckets have become such a collector's item, and you're seeing more and more ridiculous ones, and ones that feel less and less like successful food containers. I'm looking at you, Lobo. These Cars ones, though, are genuinely pretty nice. As per usual, it seems like different theater chains will get different types of popcorn buckets, but the main one we're seeing across several is this McQueen one. I've seen this for sale at AMC, Regal Cinemas, as well as Cinemark. This really seems like the main one. But with all these popcorn buckets, I think you should probably just check whatever theater chain you go to, maybe their website or wherever you would check to see this. I don't typically buy these gimmicky popcorn buckets, so I'm not sure of the full process here. But yeah, I think just check what your theater has. Now, this is actually the second 20th anniversary McQueen popcorn bucket we've seen this year, after that crazy driving light-up one that released at the Disney parks a few months ago. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not sure which of these I like better. This McQueen one, honestly, kind of more accurately depicts the character. I think the shape is a bit more realistic, but it's also clearly much cheaper looking, and it doesn't have the additional features the Disney parks one had, like the lights, the lanyard, the pullback rolling feature. I would assume this one probably has rolling wheels because of how gimmicky popcorn buckets have gotten these days, but it's definitely not going to hold a candle to the high quality that the Disney parks always give their popcorn buckets. Still looks pretty good though, and I think in some ways does look better than the Disney parks one. My personal favorite here is probably this more traditional bucket that just has the Cars 20th anniversary logo on it, and it also comes with a Lightning and Mater lid. You could also get a cup version of this, which is exclusive to AMC theaters. Other locations are going to be getting this cup with the sort of poster design on it instead that would include the same McQueen and Mater lid. Additionally, we're seeing several locations get a much more specialized Piston Cup. Yes, they did it. They turned the Piston Cup into a real cup. And that's absolutely hilarious. The shaping is super off, which I honestly appreciate because this is a cup, and it seems that they made the cup section bigger, so that you could fit more drink in it, which is really nice. So many of these popcorn buckets are so obviously not designed to hold food, so I appreciate modifying the Piston Cup to contain, more of your drink. Though I will say, probably the funniest thing about this item to me isn't the fact that they turned the Piston Cup into a cup. It's the fact that they're calling it not a cup, but a drink vessel. Drink vessel. Just call it a cup, man. That's exactly what it is. Hold on, sorry guys. I've been filming for a really long time. I need a break. I need to go get a drink from my drinking vessel. I'll be right back. All in all, I think it's just really nice to see all this stuff being done for the 20th anniversary of Cars. When they announced the theatrical re-release, I didn't expect them to do this much. New popcorn buckets and merchandise, this beautiful poster. It's just really, really great to see the celebration of the anniversary of this series. I really appreciate it. It's just really nice. I love what they've been doing, and yeah, I can only hope that other Disney movies in the future get an anniversary celebration as good as the one Cars has had, because honestly, it might be pretty hard to beat at this point. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this. Are you planning to see the re-release of Cars? Are you going to buy the drinking vessel? What do you think of the poster? Let me know down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye now.